It's a royal encounter between Rajasthan and Bangalore, who square off in match number 33 of the Indian T20 League. And joining me to preview this matchup are two members of the royal family here at One Play Sports, Mandira, Lalvani, and Ayaz, Memon. Mandira, Ayaz, welcome to the preview.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Royal.
It's my honor, I should say. Ayaz, we'll commence proceedings with you. So your analysis going into this one, followed by your player picks.
So look, both teams have been stragglers. Now I'm saying this, deliberately about Bangalore because I thought they had turned the corner. They were on a roll, and then they came up. They went kaput in the previous match against Punjab. I think largely because they messed up a little bit in their tactics, holding back AB de Villiers when he should have batted in his position. I mean, you don't hold back the world's best batsman in this format, saying left-hand bowler, right-hand bowler, leg spinner or not. Otherwise, why is he the best batsman? So I think that was a mess up. They put up a fight. Punjab winning off the last ball, but not good enough. And Rajasthan have actually been struggling quite badly because, we've talked about this repeatedly. Their overseas stars not really delivering, barring Jofra Archer. And I think now all the other guys owe it to Jofra Archer to win the match because he sets up the match for them every time, and then they go and squander it. Steve Smith, Josh Butler, Ben Stokes, Sanju Samson, Robin Uthappa. These guys really need to pull up their socks. So very succinctly, I'll say that both teams have a lot to prove and to get ahead in the points table, especially Bangalore, who are sitting on 10 points, but this could quickly fizzle out the little lead that they enjoy compared to some of the other teams following them. My player picks for this one, I would have to definitely pick Jofra Archer for Rajasthan. He's actually been the best fast bowler in the tournament. And then I would pick Rahul Tewatia. We've been kind of unconvinced, a lot of us, as to whether he can sustain his form through the season, but he's been doing actually very well. He's shoring up the innings when others more celebrated than him are failing. And then I would say Ben Stokes. He looked like coming into his own with the bat, and hopefully he will play the match-winning role that everybody expects him to play, or at least his fans do. And for Bangalore, Chris Morris, number one. He gave them a chance with the bat, taking the score to 171, and then bowling extremely well. So he's been a real find. I don't know why he was taken so late into the team. Virat Kohli, yes, for the batting form that he has been showing consistently. Tactically, he needs to prove himself in this match. And then AB de Villiers, I think he'll be smarting to kind of prove everybody wrong, including his own coach and his own captain. I was reading an interview today in one of the papers in India where he's spoken about that he was ready to walk out at number 4. In fact, he was almost walking out when he was pulled back. Now that actually suggests to me a guy who was perhaps a little upset and impatient with his team management. So these are my 3 players from Bangalore.
Brilliant insight and analysis. Mandira, over to you.
I agree with Ayaz, and as far as AB de Villiers is concerned, I don't understand what they were thinking. I mean, you don't have to protect and shield a batsman of that caliber. Ki bacha ke khilayenge isko, and I think that has hurt them. I think they've had massive learnings from that match because they probably did take Punjab a bit too lightly, thinking, let's experiment a bit and see how this one goes. Unfortunately for them, Punjab kind of came together for that one match. So yes, they were smarting where the points are concerned, but very important lessons learned. I think tactically, Virat Kohli has learned the hard way not to make these unnecessary, uncalled for, options and these choices. As far as Rajasthan is concerned, as I said, and I totally concur, because we're yet to see evidence of the foreign firepower outside of Jofra Archer. Ben Stokes, should he open, should he not? Robin Uthappa, what is he really doing? Should he be played, should he not? Steve Smith, he's impressed with a couple of innings, but there's just too much looseness in his play. We need to see some more of that strength in that feisty Steve Smith side and those powerful knocks and captain's knocks too. As a skipper, is he making the right calls? Rahul Tewatia, I think, will be fantastic. He still remains the X factor for me in this team, and who's definitely fallen very, very, very far from grace is Sanju Samson. I mean, really, why can't we see even a glimpse of what we saw at the start of this tournament? So I think they have their own, set of problems plaguing them. And my picks here would be Josh Butler 1. There's been talk of whether he should be taking over as captain. Will that happen or will that not? If it does, how much of a difference will it make? Will they announce it for this match? If not now, then when? Because then it just gets too close to the finish line to, exactly kind of change it. So Josh Butler for sure. Steve Smith, he needs to deliver and fast. The time is running out. And third is Rahul Tewatia. I really think that this youngster, this Haryana boy has it in him to turn the match around. He's been a game changer. He's been a match winner for his team. And he remains the X factor. He can trouble the opposition quite easily. So I will definitely have my 3 of Rajasthan. As far as Bangalore is concerned, Washington Sundar is one. He was held off the power play in his previous match against Punjab, and because they were saving him for Chris Gale and for Nicholas Pooran. But here maybe they should stick to his traditional style of bowling in the power play and getting the top order out in Rajasthan, because that will help them obviously much more. Washington Sundar for one. AB de Villiers, like Ayaz said, he must be like raring to go to say, "Mere saath ye kya ho gaya?" And because of when AB de Villiers, I don't know, I really don't understand why they messed with their batting order. You've got Padikkal and Finn starting, but Virat Kohli got AB de Villiers. I mean, those four are enough to take you through very, very handsomely. So definitely AB de Villiers. And third is Aaron Finch. Yet to see that, big, huge knock from him. And so those are my three.
Lovely. Mandira, I'll come to you for the prediction first. Ayaz and you both mentioned at the start of the show that Bangalore definitely have been more convincing compared to Rajasthan, but they still haven't been fully convincing. So that's why it might make for a slightly difficult prediction, but your take going into this contest.
The last time we met 2 weeks ago, Bangalore did defeat Rajasthan by 8 wickets. I think they will carry that form with them. Like I said, they've had massive learning from their outing against Punjab. Lots of, and it was more tactically where they went awry as opposed to any lack of ability from any of the players. So I think Bangalore still comes in with an upper hand into this contest. Rajasthan has won 3 out of 8 matches so far. Bangalore's won 5 out of 8. But like Ayaz said, from here on for Bangalore, it could very well go downwards as well. So they need to quickly up their game, get back into the winning ways, and keep that momentum going. So for me, I think Bangalore definitely has the upper hand, and also is the team that I'm supporting for this one.
Thank you, Mandira. Ayaz, your pick.
So I'll play contrarian just not for the heck of it, because I think that when you're on a roll like Bangalore was, suddenly everything was working for them: the batting, the bowling, the fielding, and Mandira's favorite definition or description for them, the swag was back. You get stopped in your tracks, and then you start. You might get too introspective and too cerebral about what went wrong, this, that, and the other. That could take up a lot of energy, a nervous energy, and you start fearing or wondering as to what is going wrong. And I think if Rajasthan, I've seen sparks of, Stokes at his best in the previous match, sparks of it. Jofra Archer is at his best. Even 1 or 2 actually from Smith, Samson, Butler, and Uthappa get going. Then you really have a match on hand. So I think that it's not going to be so easy for Bangalore. I think that Rajasthan have a realistic chance. And I'll tell you one thing about both Rajasthan and Punjab. The way this table is placed now, if they beat some of the teams in the top 4, they'll suddenly find a path for themselves opening up for getting into the playoff. So if Punjab win 3 matches on the trot, then other teams will suffer and they'll find a way in, and then so too Rajasthan. So it's a very delicately poised situation in the tournament now. And I think if Rajasthan get their act right, tournament will be very interesting. So I'm going to punt on them. I'll say they are just about, they've got the edge going because they have less to lose and more to gain.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Ayaz. Thank you so much, Mandira. Very delicately poised, as Ayaz mentioned. Certainly a very crucial game for both teams. Rajasthan, of course, looking to keep their hopes alive in the tournament, and Bangalore looking to ensure that the last defeat in the previous match was just a hiccup and they don't quite fall off the wagon. Thank you so much for having joined us for another episode of Cricket Pundits, and do join us again as we look ahead to Delhi versus Chennai in match number 34 of the Indian T20 League. Until next time, take care.